Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one, as I always like to do when I come home, we're going to revisit my local craft breweries. So for this one, we are going to head along the road to Alloa and have a look at Williams Brothers Brewing Company once again. We're having a taste of one of their newer beers today actually. This one is the Chieftan Pale Ale, which if I'm not mistaken was only introduced in 2015. And it's a 4% pale ale, so it should be really quite nice. This is the thing that Williams Brothers are always famous for actually. These guys produce some really nice, light, sessionable beers, and they've got a whole host of different varieties of these things, but they are always really enjoyable, so I always enjoy it when I get to come back and review a Williams Brothers beer. So I hope you guys enjoy the review as well. But anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you do want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews I've done from Williams Brothers before. I think there's about 20 or so of them, so make sure you check them out. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do subscribe to the channel. The whole channel uses a geography based tagging system, so you can go into the channel homepage and search for beer based on country, city or state, whatever you're interested in. There's the playlists for beers of different countries. You can check out my sake and whiskey reviews as well as the other things that are on the channel there too, the shop visits, the interviews and stuff like that. And as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. Always interesting to hear from you guys, and your support is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Williams Brothers. So these guys started out as the family owned Glenbrew home brewing shop over in Glasgow, and their first ale of course was inspired by a 17th century Gaelic recipe for Freya Heather ale, named of course after the Celtic mythological hero. So basically in 1988 a woman from the Highlands came in with a Gaelic version of this beer, a Gaelic recipe of it, and Bruce Williams agreed to create it for her because she wanted essentially to brew a batch of this beer and enjoy it with her family. So he made an agreement with her that if he could use this beer commercially, he would brew the beer for her and basically keep her supplied with it. And I think that agreement still stands to this day. But the first small batch of this of only 5 barrels was produced in Taino railway station over in Argyll and Bute, and the following year the demand for this beer had just increased dramatically. People were raving about this beer. So at this point Scott Williams joined his brother Bruce and they began to develop other historic recipes, and this was what made the brewery quite famous initially. So these first beers were the Groatsit, which was a gooseberry wheat ale, the Kelpie, which is a seaweed ale, Abelum, which is an elderberry black ale, and also the Alba Scots Pine Ale. I still need to try all 4 of them for you actually, but these 4 recipes were developed and produced at the Craigmill Brewery in Straven between 1998 and 2004. And that building of course is now occupied by Strathaven Ales, who produce some nice beers themselves actually. But in 2004 the company relocated to their current base at the 4th Brewery in Kellybank in Alloa, and this was when they adopted the name Williams Brothers Brewing Company. And since they've moved in there, they've become quite prolific actually. They've developed maybe about 30 or 40 different beer recipes, and they're now regarded as one of Scotland's most prolific craft breweries. And oddly enough, they are actually the only brewery left in Scotland's old brewing capital. So quite interesting. Alloa of course was quite a hub for brewing. We still have the whisky bonds here in Clackmannanshire. There is an old saying that the whisky that's stored in Alloa for maturation is actually worth more than the gold in Fort Knox. Whether that's true or not, I'm not quite sure, but on the houses here we actually do get some of the black moss which comes from the ethanol evaporating from this aging whisky. So it's quite interesting actually, and it's a nice wee part of the country to live in, very scenic of course. So yeah, always cool to return to my local breweries. If you want to see the other beers that these guys do, go into the brewery website and have a look at that for yourself. They are very prolific, like I said, and I would always recommend Williams Brothers when it comes to session ales. They produce some really nice stuff actually. So yeah, have a look at that for yourself. But let's get stuck into this beer. So it says on the back here, golden in colour with a dry, crisp flavour and a sweet hoppy aroma. Chieftan is a classic refreshing pale ale. Drink chilled and raise one to the chief. So the specs of this beer, this one's a 4% pale ale. It's hot with First Gold and Cascade, and it's got a malt base of lager malt, just plain lager malt in this one. So it should be quite nice. I'll let you have a little look at the artwork on this one before we open it up then. And it is quite nicely presented. I do like the colour scheme on this one, and this is kind of the typical sort of artwork style, if you like, from Williams Brothers. There's the bottle cap on this one, the old Celtic kind of sword looking symbol, very nicely presented, produced and bottled by Williams Brothers Brewing Company, Alloa, FK10 1NT, Scotland. So yeah, very nicely presented. Let's get this guy out and we'll get on with the tasting then. It should be really good. Yeah, nice smoky opening on this one as we get it out, and we'll get it into the glass. This one actually smells, it does smell like a lager as you pour it. You get that nice kind of paley malts. But that's a crystal clear beer, as you always get from Williams Brothers with these nice session beers. So let's open up the glass, or turn on the light I should say, and have a look at the colour of this one. So as you can see, it's a really nice pale golden straw colour. If I put my fingers behind the glass there, you can see the beer is completely transparent. There's a solid finger of a frothy white head there, some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, and quite a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of that head there. But overall, it's really nice actually, really nice looking beer. So let's have a look at the aroma then. Yeah, this one doesn't have such a punchy aroma, I would say, just without sugaring it up, of course. I'll sugar it up in a second. It's got a nice kind of bready malt base to it. You can detect that pale malt in there, a bit of grainy character, some kind of biscuits as well. But it smells lovely. When you sugar it up, you start to get more of the fruitiness out of this. You start to get maybe, it's almost like a little bit of a wheaty note. But you get the nice grassy characters from the hops. It's got quite a wet grassy character to it, maybe a little bit floral as well, I would say. You can smell some of the fruits. There's a wee bit of citrus in there, but for me it's actually a slightly juicy grapefruit that's coming out of this one. And of course that's what you would expect from the Cascade, but it's got this nice sweet biscuity, bready and kind of pale ale malt that you would expect from Williams Brothers. It does have a bit of a kind of trademark smell to it, this one. So like I say, grassy, a little bit floral, not really much of a citrus actually. It's more of a kind of slightly juicy, slightly tropical fruit that's coming out of this one. But you've got that nice sweet, slightly caramelly malt base, the biscuit, the sweet kind of biscuity syrup in there, and some nice pale and sort of white malts coming out of this one. But it smells really, really nice, as these Williams Brothers beers always do. They always have a slight bit of complexity to them, but they're not too punchy in the nose, if that makes sense. So let's get stuck into this guy then. This one is the Chieftan Pale Ale from Williams Brothers Brewery along in Alloa, just 2 or 3 miles down the road from where I'm from actually, Slangia. Oh yeah, you know, a typical Williams Brothers beer, really quite nice, light and sessionable beer, this guy. Yeah, that's really nice actually. This one's a little bit different. I'm finding this one, it has a nice kind of bready malt. It's not quite as sweet in the malt base as some of the other Williams Brothers ones I've come across before. Yeah, this one to me feels a little bit more hoppy. So around the edge of the palate, in the back corners, you've maybe got a tiny little bit of earthy character, but really it's quite a nice light floral, grassy, aromatic character you're getting from this one. It becomes a bit more floral and dry as you move out from the back of the palate. There's a bit of a floral dryness on the front corners, and then it's smooth and grassy as you go around the front curve of the tongue there. But yeah, that's nice. That's lovely. Yeah, this is a really light drinkable beer. I always like these beers that can lean a little bit towards the sort of floral character in hops, and this one does it really nicely. The middle of your palate's just kind of blanketed with this kind of smooth malt base in there. You've got a little bit of the pale malt, it feels a little bit thicker and bready on top of that, and then you've got some of these kind of biscuity, grainy characters just on nicely sitting on top of that. I have to admit, they've used the lager malt nicely in this one. Usually when you think lager malt, you think of something that doesn't have all that much flavour, but I think they've used quite a bit of it in this, and they've used it well. So that's another interesting aspect to this beer, is that they've obviously used quite a bit of that lager malt, and it just comes out really nicely in this. It's got a good complexity to the flavour actually. But you know, basically this beer is another really nice, quite light, sessionable golden ale really. It's a sort of blonde golden ale. But it's really nice, you know. As I always say with the Williams Brothers beers, they're not going to kind of blow your socks off in terms of being like really hoppy or really malty or anything like that. These beers are all about being nice and balanced but also light and enjoyable as well. That's what Williams Brothers really do quite well, and they've produced it again here. And for me, in comparison to some of their other beers, the thing that makes this one stand out is that it is a little bit more bready, and it does have that nice kind of floral aromatic hop coming out to it. So this one is quite different to their other ones, which I found they tend to be a little bit fruity. Like for example, Pavlov's Dog is a little bit more caramelly and biscuity, I would say. It's got a bit of a darker caramel to it. The Caesar Augustus, of course, is more focused on the hoppy side of things, and it has that little bit of kind of citrusy fruit to it as well. They've got other things, of course, like the Red Act Lager, they've got the Paradigm Shift, they've got the Joker IPA, of course, as well. But then they've got this guy, which stands out for me because it is that little bit more bready, and it's a nice kind of light, grassy and floral hop that comes out of this one, and it is that floral character that sticks out. But it's a really nice, light, sessionable beer, this. And would I drink this one again? Yeah, I would. The problem for me would actually be choosing what beer I would want if I had a choice of all the Williams Brothers things, because I do like all these sessionable beers. Caesar Augustus I really enjoy, Pavlov's Dog I like, and on the basis of this one I do like it. The other ones that I've enjoyed were the Perfect Storm and the Golden Ratio, but they're exclusives to Aldi stores, if I remember rightly. Although I should probably say my all-time favourite that I had from these guys was the Paradigm Shift. But again, it's another really nice, light, sessionable beer, this. If you like a sort of nice floral and grassy golden ale with a bit of sort of bready malts, you will enjoy this one. It's really nicely done, actually, and as you wouldn't expect anything else from Williams Brothers, of course, when it comes to these light, sessionable beers. In terms of the mouthfeel, this one, I'd say it's light-bodied, maybe pushing the mid-bodied category a little bit. It's got quite a crisp carbonation, this one. It's a wet mouthfeel more than anything, but at the same time it's quite crisp. You've got a nice smooth malt base in there, but you've got a good bit of dry and bitter character from the hops. There's not too much in the way of fruity character from this one, I would say. Yeah, not much in the way of that at all. If you just pay attention to that little bit behind the front curve of your tongue there, I'm not getting very much in the way of fruity character at all. But it's just a nice kind of grassy floral hop that's coming out of this one. So another very solid beer from Williams Brothers that I wouldn't hesitate to drink again. So really, really nice beer, and give it a go for yourself. As I always say, Williams Brothers are famous for these nice sessionable beers, so make sure you check it out. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. I hope you've enjoyed this Williams Brothers review I've done for you. Make sure you go and try some of their beers. One of the more prolific and more easy to find Scottish craft breweries, in fact. So make sure you check out the website in the description below. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer and the brewery in the comments section below. Let me know your favourite Williams Brothers beers, of course. And until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Go and check out my social media, but most importantly, go and support your local craft breweries and have a go of some of the Williams Brothers beers from here in Clackmannanshire in Scotland. Slange just now, and I will catch you soon with more beer reviews. Cheers.